The film starts in Mexico during the year 1673, where we see a family comprising of guardians and 2 children. The young men give their mom a pendant and she offers her thanks, promising to treasure it. Generally, the family takes part in an upbeat dance while holding each other's hands until the more youthful child finds that he is separated from everyone else. He begins looking for his family, however views as his mother suffocating his sibling in the stream. Scared by this sight, the young man attempts to take off, yet his mom gets him and carries him to the stream also. The scene movements to 1973 in Los Angeles, where we meet a lady named Anna. She is battling to track down a harmony between her vocation and bringing up her 2 kids, Sam, also Chris. Moreover, it would seem her better half, who was a cop, died while working. Right now Anna works for the Social Administrations Division, whose primary obligation is to decide if guardians are appropriately dealing with their kids. Sometime thereafter, Anna finds that her supervisor has appointed her partner to handle a case, including a lady named Patricia, as her 2 children have habitually been missing from school. This choice infuriates Anna, as she is by close to Patricia and needed to deal with the case herself. At last her supervisor concurs. Furthermore, sends Anna alongside a police official to Patricia's condo soon after. Anna and a cop show up at Patricia's, put and thump on the entryway. Patricia seems to confused and attempts to promise Anna that her children are safe, declining to let them inside anyway. After some influence from the 2, Patricia permits Anna to enter once. Inside, Anna is shocked to view as the condo shrouded in lit candles and peculiar images. She thinks that Patricia has been drinking again, which was the justification behind Anna's task to her case 4 years earlier. She then, at that point, approaches a storage room and understands the young men are being kept inside, yet Patricia prevents her from opening the entryway, asserting it's for their well-being. Unexpectedly, Patricia shouts and attempts to assault Anna. However, the cop intercedes and removes her. Next, Anna opens the storeroom entryway and finds the 2 young men, Carlos and Thomas, crouched together. They seem unnerved and malnourished. The young men express feeling of dread toward a certain she, and Anna accepts they are alluding to their mom. She rapidly takes the young men to the clinic for dire clinical consideration, where she sees consume marks around their wrists. Not long after, the young men uncover that she caused those imprints, holding up Anna to except they are discussing their mother during the night. Carlos is stirred by a lady wailing. He attempts to wake Thomas, however the kid doesn't answer. Minutes after the fact, a gatekeeper keeps an eye on them and leaves, yet before long Thomas is up. Carlos then follows him into the passage, where Thomas focuses to something in the mirror, and when Carlos pivots, he sees tears tumbling to the floor, and afterward comes face to look with a malicious soul named La Llorona. Not long after, Anna gets a call in the night with annihilating news: the young men were found dead in a close by waterway. She is profoundly impacted by the news and attempts to keep down tears. Notwithstanding her hesitance, Anna needs to take her youngsters with her to the crime location, yet she cautions them not to leave the vehicle when they show up. Patricia is as of now their anguish-stricken, also blaming Anna for causing her kids' demises, and in an upset state, Patricia claims she was, as it were, attempting to safeguard her children from La Llorona. In the interim, Chris escapes the vehicle while his sister Sam is sleeping and strolls over to examine the region. He hears the sound of La Llorona crying and sees her rise out of the shadows. She murmurs something in Spanish about her youngsters and attempts to snatch Chris' arm. Making it consume, he surges back to the vehicle and awakens Sam, and the two of them see La Llorona's appearance in a vehicle reflect before she attempts to close the windows. Fortunately, Anna shows up without a moment to spare, and La Llorona vanishes in the following scene. Anna goes to the burial service of Patricia's children and asks with the nearby minister about the beginning of La Llorona. The cleric makes sense of that. La Llorona was a lovely lady who lived in Mexico numerous hundreds of years prior. She fell head over heels for a farmer who fathered her two children, and they lived joyfully until she got him with a more youthful lady. Angrily, she looked for vengeance by killing her two children. Dejected and responsibility, La Llorona ultimately suffocated her herself. Because of her self-destruction, she was denied passage into existence in the wake of death and reviled to meander the earth, taking youngster spirits to supplant her lost young men. The legend of La Llorona has since been utilized as an instrument to scare Mexican youngsters into acting appropriately. Later that day, Sam strolls outside by the pool with her straightforward umbrella as the wind blows, and similarly as she opens it, she gets a brief look at La Llorona. Unexpectedly, a whirlwind grabs the umbrella out of her hands and it lands in the pool. Sam rapidly goes after it, however La Llorona shows up and snatches her arm. Minutes after the fact, Anna gets back and discovers Sam feeling down in her room. She sees consumed blemishes on Sam's wrist and asks how she got them. Anyway, Sam deceives her mom, saying that she recently fell. That night, an investigator shows up at their home for supper and notification that the youngsters are unglued about something. Later, he requests that Anna keep an eye on Patricia. For reasons unknown, she has an explanation for her child's demise. Anna keeps awake until late evening, exploring the case documents. While in her review, she hears squeaking sounds coming from first floor, so she chooses to examine what really is happening. All at once, Anna sees the review entryway opening up and close, however nobody is inside the room. She hears more commotions coming from the lobby and finds her child rest strolling close to the front entryway. Anna attempts to awaken him, and yet somebody is attempting to open the front entryway. The two of them rush back inside the house. However, Anna gets caught in one of the rooms. She attempts to open the entryway, yet La Llorona out of nowhere sees Anna is still not persuaded that she is a phantom, so she snatches a polished ash from the storage room to safeguard herself. Anna then, at that point, swings the bat at the apparition, yet La Llorona vanishes once more, and seconds after the fact, her youngsters come to her guide. The next day, Anna visits Patricia in jail to converse with her. In any case, Patricia is as yet irate and faults Anna for her child's passing. She contends that she was attempting to safeguard her kids from La Llorona, not hurt them. Anna then, at that point, sees that Patricia has a similar consume marks on her arm. As they visit, Patricia inquires as to whether they have heard La Llorona's wails, and in the event that they have felt the sting of her tears, she admits that she didn't go to God for her child's salvation, yet all things being equal, appealed to La Llorona to take Anna's kids in return for her own. In the meantime, Sam and Chris are home alone. At the point when Chris hears a commotion coming from his sister's room, he then, at that point, explores the wellspring of the sound and views as an open window. As he attempts to close it, a solid whirlwind blows him back into the room, and he sees La Llorona holding on the window. Chris runs out into the foyer in dread, and La Llorona pursues him, kicking him down the steps. Not long after, Anna shows up and tracks down Chris. Oblivious on the floor, she right away takes him to the medical clinic, where the specialist is worried about the extreme sprain in his arm and suspects maltreatment. As an outcome, the specialist contacts youngster Administrations for government assistance mind Anna's family that night. Anna's two partners visit her home when they become dubious about the kids' wounds after seeing Chris' injury in the consumed blemishes on Sam's wrist. They start to accept that Anna is either oppressive or then again careless towards her youngsters. Anyway, the children attempt to make sense of that. Their mom isn't answerable for the wounds. Later, Anna asks with Chris about late occasions, and he illuminates her that he heard La Llorona in Sam's room higher up. Sam is washing up at the point when she erroneously trusts that it's her mom who is washing her hair. In any case, it's really La Llorona. The animal effectively lowers Sam in the water, making her battle to relax. After hearing her girl shouts, Anna races to the restroom and salvages her without a moment to spare before she suffocates, and while hauling Sam out of the tub, La Llorona snatches Anna's arm and consumes her, while uncovering her unnerving face with horrendous tears. The following day, Anna visits the congregation, looking for help from the minister. He shares his own experience with the otherworldly, having managed the famous doll named Annabelle. Anna demands the Catholic Church help. However, the minister makes sense of that the course of acquiring endorsement for an expulsion would take an excessive time. Rather, the priest recommends looking for the help of a neighborhood shaman named Raphael, who was once a minister himself. Following the idea, Anna takes her youngsters to meet with Raphael. At first, the shaman is reluctant to help them. However, when Sam begs him in franticness, he alters his perspective. Yet before they start, Raphael cautions them that regardless of where they go, La Llorona will proceed to seek after them, as not entirely set in stone to catch the spirits of the two kids. He then, at that point, gathers a few powerful cures from his assortment, and they head back to Anna's home to stand up to La at last. Next, Raphael begins a custom that include